I'm gonna call your name, King. Akil.
You be static, knowledge.
The show started, man. Greetings, peace, and power. Welcome again to another Vocal Deck, to another episode of Vocal Deck, Vocal Dialect Podcast. I'm Knowledge Born 7. I'm here with Kenwado Akil, my partner in crime, as well as Gerald Moore, and also the General T. Shaka Sankofa. Both the Gerald Moore and T. Shaka are part of the Street Law Soldiers. We have a very special guest, Antonio Bannis. How you doing, my brother? How's everything going?
How you doing? All power to the people. All power to the people.
Hey, before we start the show, I just want to say I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in weekly, supporting us. We love y'all, because we give you a very valuable information. We don't come with the BS and stuff. So, if you come in, just like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We love y'all. And brother Antonio Bannis, we have a
Yes, sir.
young brother, special brother. I mean, never had a brother this young on the show like that, you know what I mean? So his name is Antonio Bannis, and he's with the Black Panther Party. How you doing today, brother?
How you doing? How you doing, brother? It's a pleasure, meet you guys tonight, and I feel honored for that.
Uh, this is the question that I want to ask. Where are you located? What state you live in?
I'm located in Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay, St. Pete. So I had two questions. How did you learn about the Black Panther Party? And what brought you to join the Black Panther Party? And how long have you been in the organization?
So it's really um knowing Black history. Black history is really what embraced me to actually take this journey into liberation. And in the past, I've been through, racial profiling by cops, over, the pettiest, the pettiest stuff. And I wasn't even, victim. I was really, a young man just trying to be educated. And I always been that person to always want to learn and go deep, like have a deeper experience. That's just on me, on my behalf. And me being a Black Panther Party member, it all traced back to, Afeni Shakur, Montulu Shakur, Billy Garland, and all those people, etc. Huey Newton, Bobby Seale, his son, Rico. But those people really inspired me, especially, Tupac Shakur. Even though he wasn't a member, but he was a cub. But he really inspired me, and his music change really like it was just really like the flow and his gritty, his grittiness that really had impacted the streets. And how long I've been in for like over a month. It haven't been years, and it been just like over a month. Cause I always had the spirit of a panther.
That's
Always,
right. That's right.
always had the spirit of a panther when I was a little baby. Always had the spirit of a panther. I was always aggressive. I was always, down for the truth. That's what really like. But what made me take this journey is when a lot of profiling and a lot of racial profiling and me just studying. The studying had really inspired me to go deeper in those books and by the elders. That's the
How old are
truth.
you, brother?
I'm 19. I'm about to be 20, August 6th.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Have any questions for the young brother?
You from
Yeah.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Mm.
Somebody was about to say something.
No, go ahead, Shaka.
How did you find out about? How did you find out about this show? First of all,
I found out, by social media and YouTube, because I always look through stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think we had that much reach, real small channel. So we doing something right then. That's cool. That's good. That's dope because we inspired one of our young brothers, man. I like that, man. So that means that we are doing something. I appreciate
Most
it,
definitely.
man. Yeah.
Most definitely.
okay. Well, for the record, let me just state this: that we're by me being a general of the street law soldiers, we don't align ourselves with any particular organization or movement, and specifically because over the years, and we've been a movement since 2005, and I've had interactions with various fractions of Black Panther, or so-called New Black Panther Party groups, and it's nothing personal against the individuals. I found that a lot of the leadership didn't coincide and wasn't didn't coincide with the standards and principles and codes of conduct that we adhere by. And it has no bearing on a lot of the members personally, because an organization only as good and positive and loyal as its leadership. So I've had my experiences with several leaders of the Black Panther Party, and once again, it doesn't doesn't coincide with what we stand on. We always are willing to work with people, but we never align ourselves and combine our movement with any other movement. And that's got nothing toward you or to discourage anybody or discredit any members. But I believe in just being honest, being truthful, being loyal, and representing our people as they need to be representative in terms of, our conduct, the rules that we adhere by, what we stand on, and how we our mission statements may vary or differ from other movements and organizations. So, at the age of 19, I understand that at that age, it's time to, just like when all of us were 19, we had those extremely impressionable minds, and we became fascinated with things that attracted us. So, I encourage you just to continue to embark on a journey of just finding your niche and stand on the business that you stand on, and be open and receptive, because you can be a powerful force and you can be an asset to our liberation, if you follow certain standards and conduct yourself accordingly, and begin the practice of being an example to other youths, and as well as adults, because there are a lot of adults that don't even have the mindset and don't stand on the business that you're standing on, and they've been around. You know, you're doing an amazing job by just stepping forward and making an effort to try to fight for liberation for our people. So that speaks volumes, and that's more than what a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond have ever done. So learn to credit yourself, you know, learn to be receptive, learn to be open, you know, be proud of who you are, and you know, stand on the business of liberation, regardless of where you may land at or where you may find that the Most High and our ancestors may place you. So I can encourage you to continue to, you know, remain open and remain humble, and simultaneously stay strong. But my question, what is your mission? What is your purpose? What is your journey in your opinion?
Okay, so my mission is to bring unity and liberation to our people. I believe we've been bound for too long. It's been way over 400 years, way beyond that, way beyond 400 years. And you know, one thing I like to say, and this saying that I like to say, I actually picked it up from somebody that I knew, and it's like a disgrace at the same time. A black man, especially in this century, in the 21st century, they don't mind being in oppression. They don't mind it, but to the highest extent, they can't tolerate it. All they want you to do is just turn it down a notch, but they will stay in oppression. So I'm like, hold on, this something is not right. We had great leaders like Martin Luther King. We had great leaders like Malcolm X. We had great leaders like Rosa Parks. We had these great leaders, and what they're doing is they're passing the torch to the next generation for us to fulfill the works of which they have tried to do. But what I believe is a black man, they have a curse on their heads. It's not their fault. It's not their fault of what their ancestors did. It's not their fault. Some of the ancestors, they made a lot of horrible mistakes. It's in their loins. It's captured in their loins. So now they are reaping the mistakes of their forefathers. They're reaping it. And it's like now, as I really wanted to get in the topic of unity with the Black Panthers and with the whole black civilization, whether you're Mexican, whether you're black, whether you are Caribbean, African, it doesn't matter what race you are. But if you are with the oppressors, then that's the issue. Because now you picking up on the things that they have done. This thing is in the ancestors, especially the white folks, when they had oppressed us for too long. Even the judiciary system, the executive system, and the legislative system, the branches, these are all succumb to slavery. Even the systems that they build, the prisons, but they just have advanced in technology because way back in the 1800s, 1700s, they had houses. And the people, they used to lock them up. They used to lock them right in the house or in sheds or in them little small houses. They lock them there. And they only would have to do what the master says. But oppression has been going on for too long. Especially, matter of fact, when they have advanced in technology, it was a whole shift in this paradigm. It was a whole shift. Now, the unity with the Black Panthers, you got so many different organizations that have picked up the Black Panther Party. Now they have made the new Black Panther Party. Now they got the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. They got the Fred Hampton Gun Club. They got so many organizations, but all these organizations, they're seeking the same thing. They not all of them is about unity, but they are seeking the same thing, is fighting against oppression. But the point is, they're divided. It's different dividends. They're divided. But okay, they all seeking one thing. These groups are seeking one thing: freedom. But the point is, the question is division within that jurisdiction. It's a lot of division. They're divided into parts. But if you trace way back then, look what happened with Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale. Okay, they say on Google that the Black Panther Party was dismantled. No. What truly happened was Huey P. Newton bodyguards beat Bobby Seale's ass. Beat him good. Because you know why? Because he was violating. He was breaking the rules. But deep inside Bobby Seale wanted his own jurisdiction. Bobby Seale wanted to run things. That's why they got on Google that Bobby Seale was the founder, which is not true. No. But the FBI had came with this thing called COINTELPRO, Counterintelligence Program, which they came in the Panthers jurisdiction. I said on my live the other day, I said that the FBI, they are very unique in their cunningness. So what they do is they send people like us to join the organization, but when they send the people to join, they will come as like me, and they'll be like, hey, I want to come. I want to see liberation for our people. Yeah. But guess what? Secretly, they're working for them. That's why they have to be careful on who they recruit. And I try to tell leaders this, be careful. Because you don't know that they work with them. They don't have to show you the badge. All they got to do is know their number and identify themselves. Oh, and they say, you work for us. But the whole time, they don't know. And that's how they say it got dismantled, quote unquote. But the whole timing, Bobby Seale violated the rules. He violated it. He wanted to run things his way, and Huey P said, nah, bro, you can't do it. Nah. You can't handle it that way. But the whole timing, Bobby Seale was very skillful in organizing. He knew, man, that Joker knew what he was doing. But guess what? Pride came in. Pride had entered into Bobby Seale and said, you know what? Since this can't go this way, I'm going to have this to happen right there. And guess what happened? Okay, Huey P said, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. You want to do it this way? Now I'm going to do that. And guess what? The bodyguards of Huey P. Newton, they beat him. They beat him so bad that he flew to another state. That's how bad it was. But the whole time, and Bobby Seale got Huey P. Newton set up and got him killed by a gang member. Used him bad, yeah. That gang member, yes. He's from the guerrilla gang, some guerrilla, whatever they call it. But that's what happened. Now, guess what? They looking bad on us now. They saying, man, we can't depend on the Panthers no more. I was on live a few days ago. I was talking, addressing, and doing recruiting online. But guess what? A lady said, ain't they was dismantled 1982? They can't do nothing for us. They look what happened. Ain't this happened? This, that, and the third. I was like, damn. She silenced me for a second. And I was just in my spirit. I'm like, damn. What is going on? What's truly going on? So I thought to myself and I said, you know what? Unity. The more we are divided is the more the oppressor is going to keep on conquering us as a nation. Number two, we need to start embracing love with one another instead of fighting. We all in the streets, we see me and some other dude fighting somebody within our race. They always fighting, busting people in the head with bottles, shooting one another, doing all this foolishness. Really, it's called folly. Foolish. I remember I'm saying this to another brother. I said this to a brother. I said, listen, you fighting him, why you don't fight the oppressor like that? Oh, they can't answer. You know why? Because they'll slam them on their crap and throw they behind right in jail. And leave them in there however long they want to be, however long they want them to be in there. And it's been happening for years. Because many of our people, when they fight one another, you will realize, like, damn, they always fighting. But when the oppressor come in the police car, guess what? Everybody want to run. They want to jump fences. They want to hide. They want to do all that. Last time I checked, 1966, 1967, 68, and 1969. No, 68, 67. What happened to Huey P. Newton when they pulled them over? When they pulled them over, and a cop, they checked whatever the documents they had to check, pulled them out of the car.
Hey, hold on, brother. I got something to say. I guess I'm looking at the chat line. Hey,
Go
this
ahead.
is our young brother. He old enough to be our grandson and our son. This is our future. You know what I mean? A lot of young brothers and sisters should be like, don't diss our young brother on this chat line. Please don't. Continue, brother.
So Huey P. Newton got charged with manslaughter on a police officer, but the whole time the police officer, they harassed him. It's nothing that they did. When the cop found out that was Huey, oh, yeah. That racially profiling stuff was what led to that. But Huey P. Newton wasn't nobody to be played with. He shot that cop. The cop died. And guess what happened? The other cop shot him. And after when he landed to the hospital, even when he was wounded in the hospital, what they did? Boom, 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 boom. They beating on him. A group of them beating on him. But the whole time he's injured, he's hurt, he's in critical condition. Survived it. But they don't know. They've been using the same tactic for years and years and years. But if we kill somebody, we doing life. But if they kill somebody, their sentence get reduced to whatever they determined. Go ahead, brother.
If anyone want to call in or either join the Zoom, remember, this is our young brothers, this is our future. We need more young brothers and sisters like this, think like this. We ain't dissing on our younger brothers and sisters. We don't do that at all. But if anyone want to join in, the call in number is 240-229-7163. The number is pinned in the chat line, the live chat, so search for it. And also, we have a Zoom link if you want to come into the show. We have a Zoom link, you call in. Please.
It's 7136.
Yeah, I said that 7136-240-229-7163. 36.
Hey, Antonio, how you doing, young fella?
Great King.
That's good. I like your spirit. And the question I want to ask is that you talked about earlier about the sort of passivity that the young people have, that they don't have that energy to want to fight against oppression. So what intricate role can you play in removing that or dispensing that negative energy from them to make it positive?
So my dispensation from me, one of my attributes is really conveying and being the voice. That's really what I see myself as, and that's my wire. Is really teaching and practicalizing my teaching too as well. That's really my wiring. Just conveying that message, something that's gonna stick, something that's gonna make you think for days, months, or maybe even years. Something that's gonna sit here and say, man, he got me good. That's really, because you can't force them to do nothing. You can't force them to want to join. You can't force them to want to be free. It's their choice. It's their life. The First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of press. You got freedom to, but the whole time, and you low key not free. You're not, because in the U.S. Constitution they identify you as a subordinate class, and subordinate is really 3 parts. And those 3 parts is your property. You're not under no law. And you're just a nobody. You're subordinate. You're a slave. You're nothing. You're just a property. That's what it identifies you as. Even in the Constitution that is written by James Madison. James Madison was a white man. He really was. Go ahead, brother.
You had something you wanted to tell them, add some knowledge? He is replete with information, though.
I do like the fact he dropped information. Considering he's been you only been with the group 2 months, or with the Black Panther Party 2 months, right?
Oh, yeah, over a month.
Over a month. But in all truth, it has been a part of your spirit for a very long time, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
But
so
joining the group,
right,
was a whole different realm.
So to your knowledge, as you personally, you're pretty much seeking freedom and self-determination, correct?
That is accuracy.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on economic justice, as far as communities, or what communities should benefit from wealth and create wealth and protect the wealth? So give me your thoughts on economic justice.
What's rightfully ours, what we work for, what we earn, and our labor is really what we deserve, and not us paying taxes on what's ours. Because originally this land belonged to the Indians and the Mexicans. Really where the taxes came from, it came from actually the government, for them to fund for the police officers and the U.S. military. That's where taxes come from. But if we buy land with our wealth, something that we work for a very long time, and in our savings and everything, what's rightfully ours is what's rightfully ours. We don't have to pay taxes on something we bought in the islands. The islands is something different. The islands, when you buy land, it's yours. You don't pay taxes, especially
Yeah,
in
hold
Jamaica.
on.
You don't pay taxes on the land that you bought in Jamaica or any
Okay.
other island. So yeah, what's rightfully ours is what's rightfully ours, and we go strictly by the 10-point program, which is the rules.
That's correct.
of the Black Panther Party.
Yeah, 10 point. The 10 point program. Freedom, self-determination. Number 1. Full employment. Number 2. Economic justice. Number 3.
Yep.
Decent housing. Number 4. Education.
Yep.
Number 5.
Yep.
Healthcare and basic need. Number 6.
Yep.
Protection from police brutality. Number 7.
Yep.
Fair treatment under the law. Number 8. Community
Yep.
employment. Number 9. Peace, justice, and equality is number 10. Go ahead, Brother Gerald.
Yeah, hold on, brother. Want to call Dan? Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I just want to say, young blood, everything, man, you're on fire. I just want to say this: the alphabet group, they are the masters of the vision. They are the real masters of the vision. So when you get something together like that, you have to be on your P's and Q's, and your self-awareness got to be on the 10th degree, because you just can't, cause all skin folks ain't kin folk, because you have to really analyze your circle if you're getting together on unity or any kind of unity. Because like I said, I was in the military for 21 years, and I ain't trust everybody in that mug that look like me. So what I'm saying is that alphabet group is very powerful with the vision, period. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was in the Navy, I knew they had COINTELPRO on the ship. I knew they had, but I kept it to myself. But, you know, because people like to talk. So, you know, our philosophy was loose lips sink ships. That's our philosophy on the U.S. Navy. So that's why I kept my mouth closed, because I knew we had COINTELPRO on the ship, period. A lot of people don't believe that, but I knew we had it on there. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all brother, keep talking, keep pushing. But the unity gonna come. We just gotta weed out the bad apples, so to speak. You gotta weed them out. You gotta figure out who it is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta set them up to see who real and who ain't real. You gotta set them up. Like throw a seed out there, throw a bird out there, and say they gonna catch it. If you know he real, he ain't gonna catch it. If you let it go, you know he legit. Sometimes you gotta do that type thing. You know, put a false claim out there and say, okay, who talking? You see what I'm saying? You gotta tell a lie and say, okay, who talking? If the lie get back to you, you be like, okay, they talking. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to say, keep talking, bro, and keep pushing. Peace.
Peace.
Hey, man, I got something to say, you know, shit really irked me, you know what I'm saying? It's a young brother, this our brother. I don't appreciate that shit, man. You don't have nothing positive to say about our young brother. Don't even get the hell up off our page. I don't like that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to just block somebody. I ain't with none of that. This is our young brother. If he wrong with something, you ain't go with his information. You know what I mean? You don't just we don't do that around here. That shit pissed me off, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me say, you know, that's kind of messed up too, and I'm getting ready to go in on that. But as Brother Ray was saying, well, all the military period is COINTELPRO. But to the individuals who you know, have all these different negative comments that's commenting on the show. And I say this royally, fuck you. Because if he was out here doing something that was counterproductive, you know, you would have something to say about that. So apparently, you know, you don't want to see it's motherfuckers like that don't want to see our youth rise because they feel as though they have been failures. You know, when they were 19, they didn't have the mindset or determination or the willingness to change the narrative and the direction that we need to be going in. They didn't have that heart, you know, and whoever made those comments, you know, how would you feel if somebody done that to your son or your grandson? You know, what would be your response? Or and furthermore, what are they doing? to enhance liberation and salvation. So, that's my statement with that. Now, back to the young brother. You're on the right track, and our goal and our mission is to navigate the young to being examples and give them direction and instructions. These are young brothers and sisters that are crawling, trying to find assistance in learning how to walk.
Hold on. Hey, man, get up off our feed, brother, man. Just get up from our feed. I hate I invite you in. Get up from our feed.
That's a plan.
We don't push the negativity on this page. We don't do that. We do not do that. I don't even like saying that shit, man. This shit got me pissed off, man, for real.
Yeah, that's a plan.
So remember this, and our job is to not to condemn you, but to encourage you, but at the same time educate you. Give you the proper education and a truthful synopsis and analogy of what is really taking place and the direction that you need to go to continue to stand up. First of all, it's always about race. It's always about race. If it wasn't about race, we wouldn't be having this conversation in terms of how to get out of the grips of another racist oppression that they've been inflicting on us for over 4 centuries. So you have to try to remember that.
I had to chip in on something. I don't mean to cut you, Mr. Shaka, but I learned something very significant. Very, the older folks used to say this in the church. They used to always say, if somebody is attacking you, you're doing the right thing.
That's right.
Right.
If it's a multitude that's rising up against you, you're doing the right thing.
That's right.
Martin Luther King, he didn't promote violence because he understood spiritual law. Because if I know if I'm going to fight a brother or fight my oppressor, what justice is that's going to do if I'm just fighting all the time? No. When you use the dispensation of wisdom, when you tap into the oracles of God, you will have the provision to see through foolishness. But it's a willingness within your spirit, man, within you. It is a willingness that if you want to yield to what God is saying, or you just reject. It's free will, because if I love you so much, I will let you have free will. Let me show you how the capitalists, how they didn't love us. They don't give us free will, sir. They still have us in captivity. They don't, if they love you, they will give you free will, but still, it will still be laws. So the point on what I'm trying to say is, if we understand spiritual law, the legal the legal rights, the contracts, the agreements, and the jurisdiction of it, we will thrive successfully. The humblest man is a giant in the spirit realms. A humble man is a giant. Because you know why? Because he know what God can do. He know. I've seen people fight me many times. Fight me, literally. Something bad happened to them. I didn't do nothing to them. I didn't fight them. I didn't do nothing. So it's always good. I like what Shaka said about humble. That right there strike me. And he has an understanding on spiritual law. Humbleness, you can destroy 10,000 on your right hand side. So basically, we have to learn. We have to be schooled. We have to be educated. That guy that came on the chat, that guy wasn't a normal guy. That guy worked for the government. If you was a part of the military, Literally, if you're a part of the military, you work for the government. You are militant. You are a defender of a country. That is what a military is, defense. You understand what I'm saying? But as the Black Panther Party, we defend our people. We are a defense. We are a shield. You throwing one shot, I'm throwing 30. Because I'm trying to prevent you from killing us off. Look at what they did to the Indians. Look at what they did to the Cherokees. Look at what they did to them. Division happened with them. It wasn't the Indians because the Indians are connected. One. But the point is, the capitalists, they came on this land with a contract because they wanted the best part of the land. But the Indians say, no, we're not selling it off. But what happened? They say, you know what? If you're not going to give us this land, we're going to take it by force. Boom. 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 That's what they did to the Indians. They thrown them in swamps. They said, hey, this swamp, you can have it. This is your land. But they wanted the best parts of the land. Isn't that a disgrace? That is a big disgrace. That's gone way back in history on what they have done in the 1800s, the 1700s, the 1600s, coming all the way down to the 21st. But the only thing that is different is just the technology. Way back then, it wasn't that much technology, but now it's advanced technology. And guess how they getting the youth? Through social media platforms. I bet you if it wasn't social media platforms, who would know what's going on? Who would know? Back in the day, they had pagers. Nobody know nothing. If you lose that pager, how can you go on social media unless you have a camera? What? But that's back then. Technology is really messing them up. Really, the young generation technology. They're distracted. They're seeing girls coming on Instagram, Facebook, twerking, shaking their backs. But they doing that. And guess what's going on? You have the government still ruling over you. Slaves ruling. What are you doing? Distraction. They create these programs to distract you, to deter you. That's a part of the COINTELPRO. That's what that's actually what it's a part of. Because back in the day when they had the COINTELPRO, guess what happened? They made false letters. They made false letters to make people kill against their own race. Manipulation tactics. And a white man with his big fat belly sitting at his office behind his desk is arranging it. But our people fail to realize what's going on. They fail to realize it. All the Panthers, I don't care if you're not a Panther, if you are an American civilian, you need to come together. That is the only way. If it was to be a war, we will conquer them. Because we need to come one. We need to be together. But a lot of people, they're afraid to die. They're afraid to go to jail. They want to be free. But just like I said before, a black man doesn't mind oppression. He just want it turned down a notch, but he can deal with it. Like I said before. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Antonio, if I may ask, where you originally born at?
Lord, my peoples come from Zimbabwe. My mom's side come from Jamaica. Okay. My daddy came from Haiti.
Mm-hmm. So you got that fighting spirit in you automatically.
Yeah.
Especially when you talk about Haiti.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. And you got that book, Mom Dessalines, Tucson.
Yep. Yeah, as I was sitting here listening to you doing your renditions about the parts of history, the only thing I can think of is that I know we don't say it as much, but that ancestral spirit, man, it shines through you. And to be so young and be inspired to want to start the Black Panther Party. So you want to create a chapter, or you just want to revive the old Black Panthers?
I was appointed to be a chairman.
Okay.
I didn't call myself to be a chairman. I just had the passion.
For sure.
I, talked to Rico, Huey's son, and that's my goddad. I look at him as a king, and I see all his father's attributes in him just by local research on his father and comparing them. I just say, yeah, that he dispense the same energy. That's why everybody, they don't like him. They trying to kill him. They come after him. He's underground with it. Little as you know, he's underground. He's not seen. And the point is, I have my attorney to look at the paperwork. This is officially the son. That's his Huey and Rico. Huey P. Newton's son, that's Rico. That's his only biological son, only. They seen it. Why you think everybody fighting him now? And when he went legal with it, when he went into politics and he went for independent presidency, independent presidential candidacy, all war took place. They're like, hey, he's trying to become a king. Hey, you got the 66 Panthers. The 66 Panthers, they just there. they know what's going on. They know. You got all these Panther organizations forming. Of course they're gonna try to fight him. But to tell you the truth, they don't like Huey P. Newton. They just want to take the name. They want the name. They don't care about Huey. They talk about him and say he was a dope head. You know how disgrace that is, saying his daddy a dope head. Of course, and if it's the truth, okay, it's the truth. But you gotta question it. What happened? Was he set up? What happened? You don't know what happened. You just saying what you hear. You don't know. I wasn't born back in the day in the 80s and all that. If I knew, I would have had accurate information. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I know I'm right. But I don't know if I'm wrong with the full story. Only the people back in the day, the original 66, they know what's going on. They know. Because they was born back then. You get what I'm saying? So it's just that we have been confused in this matrix for too long. Over 400 some years, and we've been dealing with it. And some black men, they know they enslaved. They know, because they question themselves and say, "Why are we doing this? Why is it so much prisons being built? Why we paying taxes? Why is we getting treated differently from a white person? Why? Why is we getting paid chicken change at our jobs? And mostly these business owners are white men, so of course they gonna pay you 13 an hour, 14 an hour. These franchises, Burger King, all them, man, the white man over that. Of course they're gonna pay you that. It's just a couple dollars. Back in the day, they used to pay you $2 and some change. They just went up a couple dollars. That's why I wanted the 10-point program. We want full employment. We want everything. We need guaranteed jobs, guaranteed. We want freedom from oppression. We want decent housing. We don't want to be in a house full of rodents, roaches, termites, everything infested, and you giving the white man a high class. They living in condos, luxury buildings, and we in the hood. We in the hood for too long. We want to be exempt from the U.S. military. We want to be exempt. We want to end to all robbery from the capitalists and murder the white man is doing. And what they're doing is, if you heard how Lil Papa died, how his parents was questioning, his family was questioning what happened to the money and jewelry in the car. What they did, they stole it. And they ain't released the camera footage. They ain't release it. And they said, oh, it got misplaced. Nah, nigga, you ain't do that. Nah, what you did was you edited, delete, you got rid of it. Because if you got caught, the federal government, yes, they will get on your ass. That's what will happen. Or whoever that's mature enough that can see through foolishness because you're law breaking. Then they're so swift and smooth. They're very cunning. That's how they do it. We want land. Land is really your sovereignty rights. We want our bread, house, and education, clothing, justice, and peace. We want our sovereignty back. We want our sovereignty. We own this land. How can a sovereign citizen pay taxes for his own land? They will reject that claim. Reject that. You buy something 100-something thousand. Why am I paying something that I just bought with my money? I work a long time for years grinding, and I gotta pay back. And that money is going to the military and it's going to the police. Why you think the police is called public servants? So they really work for us. The police work for us because you collecting our money. If we stop paying taxes today, they're going broke. If we stop paying, every black citizen stop paying taxes today, I challenge you, stop paying taxes. I bet you every year you got IRS calling your phone and they want to garnish everything you got. And it's the white man that own the IRS. That's the government. Stop funding for these white man businesses. Stop paying. Just stop buying Louis. Stop buying Gucci. Stop buying this foolishness. And how much you want to bet when the business fails? They will own loan departments. They will owe them. Because usually how they generate so many capital is because they have these credit cards, and these credit cards, and if they have the right credit score, they get to take out a massive loan and invest. And guess what? They will have to pay back. They will have to pay back. If you stop paying, stop it today. Everybody all over the world, guess what will happen? They will be in massive debt. And guess what? They have to pay taxes on the land, which is about 13,000, 7,000, depending on how big. They will have to pay. And if they can't pay it, somebody else and their kindred can buy it. And guess what will happen? Eviction. They will go. They're too naive. Until when you grow up and when you learn and study your books, you read till books read you, you will see why this young man is right. You will see. But the black man, they love to wait at the last minute. They love to wait at the last minute. They don't want to do it now. They want to do it when they're beaten halfway to death. They want to go protest now because you got your ass beat. You got beat bloody. Knuckle bloody. You got pistol whip. You got beat with baton. You got pepper spray. Now you want to fight. Why you ain't fight before? You want to fight your own people. It's because you will realize. You will realize it. Later you will realize it. You'll be like, damn, I should have listened. I should have listened to my mama. I should have listened to my people. The whole time. Some black men, they will have to get shot in their crap by a police for them to understand, okay, this is something, this is racial. This is something by genetic. They want our DNA. They want our DNA. That's what they want. They want our vibration. Our vibration is too strong. Our melanin is too strong. Our frequency is exude. We were the first architects that built pyramids. We was the first architects that built buildings. Everything all over the world. We built it. The point is, when the contractors, when they hire people, who do you think they hire? Mexicans and blacks, Indians. That's who they hire. Because them, sometimes they don't even have the knowledge to know. They just go hire and just pay them little bit below minimum wage. That's what they do. They do it every day. They give them a little portion of money and they keep the rest and they live fat. They live off their fat consistently. And this is an agenda by the government. And I'm talking to the government today. You think you will win? You're not winning. It's the reason why you looks like you're winning. You're not winning. It is that the black people have not come to their consciousness and the understanding on what's going on because you got to manipulate it. And I'm talking to you. The government itself, I'm talking to you. We're not confused. We are the highest IQ people, but you have these stupid tests that how they test with IQ. They have these little games, and if you do the wrong thing, low IQ, nah. Make them go build something. They will craft it like nothing. And you'll say this boy is brilliant. That's how it is. Even back in the day, even back in the day when they used to determine who will vote, you know how hard they make it for them to vote? You will have to count or guess how much pennies in a jar. You will have to guess. If you get it wrong, they kick you out. And it's the truth.
Okay.
Hey, let me ask you a question, bud. You in St. Pete, Florida. You say you 21, 22?
19.
Oh, shit, 19. So, with your peers, the young adults around in your area, your age category, how many of your peers has the same mindset as you?
Very few, not a lot. Very few. I couldn't even give you a number. Not a lot. So it's it's only like maybe 25% in our population. You will find very few. Not a lot.
Do you try to reach out to them with the knowledge you have?
Have I tried to reach out to them? I talk here and there, to them. And sometimes you just got to let them figure it out for themselves after when you talk. You can't cast pearls to swine. If they don't want to listen, sometimes you got to let them figure it out.
Yeah.
Questions? We're about to end the show.
Yeah.
Shaka,
I don't have any more questions for the young man. He seems to be greatly inspired, and he's gonna probably end up, keep moving towards the compassion that has been set in his heart, and about him also seeking justice for our people, and getting them to stand together and start respecting one another.
Right. Also, go ahead, Gerald.
No, go ahead, Shaka. Go ahead, I'll come out to you, Shaka.
Also remember, when people purposely attack leaders, our great leaders and warriors, you have to always remember, what is the mission? What is the goal for them, in terms of attacking our leadership? Because let's look at who you were before is not who you are today. When you look at Malcolm, if he was still Malcolm Little, he'd still be in the streets. He would have been Malcolm Little. He would have never became Malcolm X. So he evolved. you know, because people, what we like to do is keep each other in a low frequency because we don't like to see each other in our greatness, you know. So when you mentioned about Huey P. Newton being on drugs or whatever, what would be more important and what would be more beneficial to you? Who he was in a past life, or who he became, and what legacy did he leave? So we you know always weigh those options, and then always understand the sources and energies of those who speak ill of our so-called great leaders and heroes and sheroes. You have to, you know, I always question people's motives. You know, when they come out of their mouths and, you know, with this condemning energy to people that are looked up to, people that are highly respected, which respect is earned, is not given. So if we all, most of us, most adults of my generation, if they were judged based on who they were, then we basically wouldn't have any leadership today. We basically wouldn't even have any elders. We basically wouldn't have any scholars, teachers, warriors. We basically wouldn't have that. And so you always have to question the motives. And when we talk about unity, of course, we all would love to see, you know, our people are unified as a people. However, you know, it's a process that goes with that because you have to unify with your internal self first. You know, the traumas and all of these other ills that plague us and prevent us from becoming into our own greatness. So that is the first step. That's the only way you can become spiritually grounded. That's the only way you can have a connection with the universe. That is the only way that you can be able to see the God in your brothers and sisters. Second, there are those, unfortunately, who are going to go against the grain. There are those slaves on the plantation that are comfortable in their captivity, and they will blow the whistle on anyone who attempts to escape from freedom. And so that has to be sifted. You know, it has to be a process for that. And then we all know those who carry on that energy of our ancestors that played those roles during physical and chattel slavery. Now, unification. You know, we all have to be on a page where there's no one person leading the charge, you know, because if we all made in the image and likeness of the Most High, then we all are in charge. We just have to unify with that energy to become that powerful force that we've been sent here to do, to correct the wrongs of the planet and, you know, fight these adverse energies as disguised as people. So stay on the course. I will recommend and urge you to, you know, read books such as the ISIS Papers, Blueprint to Black Power, Amos Wilson, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, Destruction of Black Civilization, Dr. Chancellor Williams, How to Eat to Live, Nutricide by Dr. Africa, and several other books, you know, to get a better understanding opposed to a lot of this plagiarized information that is floating around social media and even among our people that haven't done that research but are in positions to disperse these plagiarized versions of our illustrious history. So you are in, you know, the right place and the right space at this time, you know, and you're very humble but at the same time, humbleness is an enormous a sign of enormous strength, because it shows that you have composure, and when to, get active at the appropriate time. So, I'm proud of you, for a 19-year-old to come on a major podcast and share your portion of information and be willing to, advance to the next level in terms of knowledge, education, and be open to and be willing to be guided to the next level by those who have your best interests at heart, those who love themselves and those who have love for their brothers and sisters, and even those who have personal love for you. It's highly commendable, brother. So continue on and embarking in your journey. And I know in my spirit at some point you will be that force to be reckoned with. So I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Yeah, brother in the chat, Red said, he talking to you, young brother. He said your frequency is very high. I agree with that.
Yeah, Antonio. What I wanted to say is that you are a very astute young man, and I appreciate you, the fire in you, and how robust you are about getting that word out. Don't feel bad that everybody's not going to listen to you, because we all know, each one of us on here, we go through the same things in different areas. So compliment yourself, because at your age, at your young age, how inspiring you are, people going to start listening to you. They really are. So don't give up. Continue to persevere despite of, and you will prevail.
Most definitely, Jamal.
And you have social media platforms that you want to give out to the people.
Yes, I do have social media platforms. My Facebook is my first and last name, Antonio Bannis. My social media for Instagram is Tony_Cartel with a K, Dadon DADON_TV. So that's my social media for my Instagram and Facebook. Once again, it's Antonio Bannis.
Yeah, I'm going send you a friend request when I get time.
Most definitely.
Hopefully we'll be able to see you Saturday.
Most definitely. Oh, and I have one thing to say to the U.S. government real quick. Back in 1865, General William Tecumseh Sherman, during the Civil War, ordered to allocate up to 40 acres of land two formerly enslaved families and 2 mules. Where are they now? They're not here. 40 acres of land. He didn't say no taxes, no nothing.
Okay.
But you're coming out here and you're trying to enforce freedom or make America great again. But give us what you owe us in recompense, because it's already ours.
Right. And for the record, it really was the uncivil war, because of the fact that, that was actually the first black on black gangbanging event in our history, because you had black Confederate soldiers fighting to uphold slavery, and you had black Union soldiers fighting for emancipation. So, and you have that same thing today with Bloods and Crips. You got blue and gray and Republicans, Democrats. So, when and I say that because when we criticize, a lot of our young people on the recklessness and, undisciplined behaviors that they exempt, based on the fact of, broken households and welfare, mass incarceration and the like, that, we have a tendency to look at this stuff just started happening. But this goes back a couple of centuries ago. So I just want to drop that jewel in your pocket.
Yeah. Most definitely, General.
Like knowledge pros up. I guess, man, appreciate you coming on, young brother. Anytime you want to come on, holler at the General Shopper right there, man. No, it ain't like that. Even if you just want to join in on the conversation one day, man, come on through, man. And also, thanks for the people who are always tuned in continuously to our show, to our YouTube page. We see you in the chats and stuff, you know. We don't condone no ignorance, being ignorant around here because we are not ignorant people. No, we're about uplifting our people, especially our young people, especially our youth, period. You know what I'm saying? Also, check out the brother, T. Shaka Sankofa, on Facebook Live. When you coming on again, Brother General Shaka?
Depending on the progress that we make tomorrow,
Okay,
everything
yeah.
go.
Y'all
Yeah,
come
it
down here.
could be.
Tell the people about the event. I'm down here, man. What's
On
going on with this?
Saturday, June 27th, Atlanta, Georgia, we will have our third annual Unity Conference, hosted and sponsored by, Brother Ken Waldo Kill, who's the co-host, the host of the vocal dialect, along with the other host, Brother Knowledge Born 7. We will be in Atlanta from 5 to 10 p.m. We have an array of speakers. It's going to really be powerful. It'll be a live taping. So if you're in those areas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, make the pilgrimage and meet and greet with us and help us build a stronger united front. And that's Saturday, June 27th, 5 to 10 p.m. The flyers are posted all over Facebook and social media. So you have any questions, feel free to call Brother Ken Waldo Kill. You can give him the number, Ken.
You call me at 470-695-2822. Once again, 470-695-2822. Give me a call. That's it. You got any last words, Brother Knock?
No worries at all, man. Hey, we thank everybody for tuning in. We thank the host for participating. We thank the brothers for dropping their jewels. And we'll see you guys next week. Vocal Dialect Podcast. Peace.
Peace.